What's up, everybody? You're listening to Duel Radio, and I am with Bader.
Hello, hello.
How's it going? How's it going?
It's going. Another week of locals and stories and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so of course we skipped last week because it was Thanksgiving, and I didn't really want to do anything on Thanksgiving, so forgive me if you were really expecting that.
I was with family.
But this week, I have actually all of my games. I won't say all of my games like to a T wrote down, but I at least have most of my games wrote down. At least my matchup, so I can at least give a little bit of insight on all of my games. And I'm thinking of a number 1 to 10. What is? Oh, give me a number.
7.
I was thinking of 7. So okay, you can start. All right, so we are going to give our locals experience and just all the games that we played, whether any card game that we have. So of course, we're gonna have Bader start for us. So Bader, how was your locals experience for the past 2 weeks?
I don't even remember last week's locals. Oh yeah, I do. I forgot actually. It was like our special
the XYZ format.
XYZ. Yeah. So that was pretty fun. I actually won that locals with White Forest toy box yet again.
Another reason why you should start.
Yep. Honestly, it wasn't really anything special. I mean, like, there's special rules. Like, everyone got an XYZ monster as their field center, and then that monster had effects, and
I don't know. I had a lot of fun at that event.
You could use like regular. What was that?
I had a lot of fun at that event.
I had a decent chunk. It was pretty cool. I'll say Zeus is broken. And should not be a thing for that, but it was pretty fun. My matchups I don't particularly remember, aside from round 4. I played against Mermail. I got hand ripped. I got hit with the something minstrel that takes a card out of my hand until the end phase. And I still won that game.
That's actually like crazy.
Yeah. And then we went to game 3 and I just had more damage than he did. But for this past week, this is what I mostly remember. And I'm sure again, playing White Forest Runic, but I also added in like Fiendsmith stuff just to see how it would work out. Not too well. Wasn't that big of a fan.
I mean, how many cards was it?
2-2. It was mostly the extra deck, I guess. That's what it took. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra deck spots, and that was just painful. But I went 2-2 round 1. I don't even remember what I played. But I swept him. Round 2, again, don't remember what I played, but I swept him. Round 3, I played against Branded, and my day was ruined. I lost the die roll. Game 1, I got puppet locked. Game 2, which, in case you're wondering, that was enough. Just enough.
Yeah.
Game 2, I kind of just tried to like stall the game as much as I could. I guess not stall the game. Pause the game as much as I could to try to get more resources in my hand. I summoned a Light and Dark Chaos Angel in defense position and just kept passing. And I was at like 100 life. Eventually, with like 4 minutes left on the clock, he's like, yeah, you're just going to get enough cards in your hand that it's not going to be worth it. We'll go to the next game. Game 3, after siding, we had like 3 minutes left. He won a die roll. He was comboing, and he summoned Masquerade Dragon. And I'm just like, awesome. So I had Diabellstar in my hand. So I just summoned her by sending a card to the graveyard. I didn't activate her effect because I didn't want to take 600 damage. I crashed into the Masquerade, went main phase 2, activated a card. He chained Branded in red, summoned another Masquerade Dragon. I was just like,
bruh,
awesome, dude. Awesome. So I lost that. Very irritated. Genuinely just ruined my day. And then round 4, I played against our previous champion now, since he lost. I lost that game or that match as well. I got drolled 2 games in a row, and realized that I hated the Fiendsmith engine because of it.
Yeah, I mean, but those cards are the best cards, right? They're the best. You got to play them.
I'm never playing. I'm selling my Fiendsmith stuff after that. So that was my locals experience. How was yours though, with Fab and with Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start with the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, being refreshed off Yu-Gi-Oh. For my XYZ event, my first opponent was playing Sprite, and this was, I think, maybe not their first locals, but one of their first locals. And for our XYZ monster, we got Evil Swarm Ouroboros, and yeah. So we both got 3, uses of Detach 1, and we could, banish a random card from our opponent's hand. And, you could do that in the first turn of the game. Neither one of us did that. Neither one of us did that. I actually told my opponent after the game, I was like, actually we could have done that. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I was like, well, it was one of those, is like, if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, I'm glad that we're not going to do this, but please. And after that round, that XYZ monster was like out of rotation. They took that one out.
Time Thief Redoer was similar, because like you can't banish it, so you can only get the spell trap effect off of it.
Yeah, and I kind of we kind of maybe discussed it a little bit. It was like, maybe if you somehow acknowledge that one of them was a monster spell and trap, and somehow that, but yeah, that one was just a little bit tough, and maybe it was maybe a little bit too long term. I don't know, if the game is a little bit slower, maybe that would have been a little bit better, but the game is too fast through game materials. Yeah, my game 2, I played a good friend of ours. He's playing Dino, and our XYZ monster was Exiton Knight. So
pop the baby.
I won the dice roll, and I made him go first. And I don't remember the context of our games, but he won both of our games. But we were both using, I won't say both using Exiton Knight. It's just at any point, as soon as we could. I won't say as soon as we could, but we shotgunning Exiton Knight, and then I was just using it to not die. Because Misk only protects in the main phase, so when he went to battle phase, I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna use Exiton Knight now, blow up all your stuff. I think I live. But yeah, that only works for X amount of turns, so I end up losing that one. Then I played Stun number 1. And I genuinely do not remember what my XYZ monster was. I even asked the person I played. They don't remember either. So it was a very non-point. I won that game. It was they were playing genuine
stun card, barrier stuff, and Fossil Dino.
Yeah, it was Fossil Dyna and Moon Mirror Shield and just that sort of stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can take care of that. And then Stun 2 was playing a very similar deck. I know the first person playing Stun was not playing Jowgen, and then the second person was. And I think
Was not playing what?
Jowgen.
Mm.
And I remember Stun number 1 was playing like barrier stuff. Like, yeah, like I think he was playing, I think specifically he had the rock statue. So you can only
Makes
summon
sense.
so you can only summon earth monsters. But yeah, stun number 2, the XYZ monster we had was the Constellar Poltami M7.
Well,
Yeah, so it was target a card or target a I think it was target monster in graveyard or field and return it to that owner's hand. So
yep.
Nice Jowgen. Put it back in your hand. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna attack you. So that was a great game. I love that one. That was I'm assuming, I don't know if it was similar to how Stun 1 their games went, but I genuinely don't remember what I had. So moving on to week 2 for Yu-Gi-Oh, and that was Tuesday. I played Centurions. Just lost that game. I won't say that was. I mean, it was a fair swift 2-0, but you know, I got to play some cards, and it was a back and forth. My round 2, I drew, and I think this is my first draw in probably like, oh god, a very long time. I don't know. I can't think of the last time I do not go to time often with Grenmaju, but it's funny when I do because it's like, how does this even happen, bro?
Yeah, it seems like a pretty hard, like uncommon, I guess, thing to do.
It's a weird thing, but yeah. I was playing Crystal Beasts, and it was like our like game 3. He like has his deck in his hand, and he's like, "All right, who's going first, me or you?" And I'm like, I'm assuming he's gonna present his deck, and I'm like, I want you to start, because I think there was still like 4 minutes or so. And then he's like, okay, cool. And then he goes back in his deck and he starts to side. I'm like, bro, I thought you were gonna present your deck. Like, what's going on? They're like, all right, fine. Now I want to side again. So I picked up my deck and I started siding some more. And then I ended up making him go first. Actually, no. I think I still ended up saying I wanted to go first, and then seeing what happened. I think I set it in perm, and then I had like what did I? Yeah, I think I just set it in perm, honestly. I think I had maybe a Bishul or something, maybe Shifter and a Bishul. I knew I wasn't gonna take damage just from like, oh, I go to battle phase, a normal summons anything, and then go to battle phase and attack. I had like protection against that, so I'm like, all right, cool, go ahead. And he like summons Cowboy. Actually, first we go for the time goes off, and then he summons Baguska, and then he's like, all right, go ahead. And I'm like, no. If you have Cowboy, summon Cowboy. And he's like, is that okay? Are you gonna be okay with that? I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be okay with you summoning Cowboy. And it's like, instead of this, like, go back and summon Cowboy. And he does, and I just imperm it, so we draw. So I'm like, at least this is the correct play. I'm not gonna like at least I have the card to like, you know, not lose, but like at least make the right play.
I don't know, man. I think at that point it was probably right to go for the draw, and then
I mean, I in that scenario, I would, even if I did not have imperm and if he tried to be like Baguska, and he was like, I have Cowboy instead, can I make that? I still would have said yes, go for it. So it's just, I had the card to stop it.
Yeah.
So I drew against that game. Then I played Infernoid Snake Eye, and I lost that game because that deck is crazy good. I don't know that
It's pretty cool.
that the fusion monster is
Oh yeah.
the Infernoid fusion monster is a very interesting card. Yeah. So I had Shifter. Yeah. Let me just dump half of my deck.
It's so cool.
Yeah. I impermed two. I think he normal summoned Decatron and I impermed it, and then he like fusion summoned for that, and then I impermed that, and he's like, "Dang it!" And then he just does Snake Eye stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah." I mean, I don't have 3 hand traps. Go for it. Game 2, I was subjected to the fusion monster, and oh my god.
Are you talking about a Tiara or the level 1?
The little level 1. I'm just like,
Okay.
oh, here, let me just set up for like the next like everything.
Yeah, that card is really cool. It's I have my whole Infernoid core from whatever they got reprinted in, minus Deviatis. I want to build it again. That deck is super cool in my opinion.
Yeah, that, and then like they have a level 4 that they can make this, so they're using Princess, summoning literally any fire monster, and then they have a Link 4 that they can make exclusively. So like that's like sick. Yep. That's I mean, busted really. For right now, as long as you have Princess, that deck is going to be it should be something.
Scary is what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, my round 4, I played against Blue Eyes, and I won that game. I have really nothing to say about that game. It was just a very like he has Blue Eyes cards, and I have to like explain what his cards do, and yeah. Afterwards, we played another game, and he played with his Exodia deck, and he had some of the fusion monster, the one with the fusion monster anyway.
Yeah.
So I had to like show him how some of that stuff worked too. So, but you know, you come to locals for those.
I couldn't get hit with a puppet.
Yeah, well, you should have been ready for that one. I don't know.
And then next week I'm gonna have bad day.
Everybody has one of those days. That's the thing is like I just play those decks, so I'm glad that people are like, yeah, I'm gonna play stun. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, do it and play stun. I played 2 stun matches last week, or like I guess it was last week, and I'm like, it sucks that I'm being subjected to it, but I'm like, yeah, play this shit, dude. Play it better, because like right now you're playing it bad.
I'm not gonna lie, since I don't know how to play stun, like I was gonna play Runic Stun. I built it online, and even after winning die rolls, I'm just getting cooked.
Oh yeah.
How do people play this garbage?
You were dipping your toes in the stun.
Yeah, I'm like, I just can't win. They're always negating my stuff.
Lightning Storm is a good card, huh?
It's not even that. It's like the random ashes and the ogres.
Ogre, yeah. Ogre against that deck is good. You like fountain to draw, and they're like, nah.
Yeah, and like I'm out of runic cards, so I can't summon my Hugin to protect it.
Yeah. Yeah, or you could just not play the runic cards, and you can just be a man and just flip floodgates.
I don't want to be a man.
Yeah, well.
I want to be a winner.
Hey, I mean...
I can't do that either.
You gotta win some to lose some, you know? No. Stun's fun,
it sounds like you had a pretty good...
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you had a better local experience than me.
It was more of I had a fun time at locals. I lost my games, but I was enjoying my time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we're going to move on to Flesh and Blood because, I mean, we're at the end of the Yu-Gi-Ohs. There's 2 whole weeks of it. We're going to start with the Thanksgiving week. That was that Monday. I played this is Blitz. So I played against a Victor. Victor's our guardian, so he's gonna be he's got a mechanic where he's clashing. So when he's blocking, you look at the top card of your deck, and if it has more attack, or whoever has the more attack, they win the clash. And if it's equal, nobody wins. But his ability lets you put that card. If you lose, you can put your card on the bottom of your deck, and then you clash again. So it's he's winning and they have massive attacks. So they're sending, they have eights, anywhere from 8 to 14 damage on a card. So they're built to win those flips. I play against Victor again, a different Victor in my week 3. So I'll be giving a little bit of a Victor explanation, but yeah. So they're flipping. They're flipping their cards, so win gold, and they use this gold for stuff. You could use the gold, use 2 mana to destroy it, and then you draw a card, and then you get to do anything else. So there's probably I don't know if it's the best drawing cards deck in the game right now, but it definitely is in the running. They're also sending big damage. They get to play Pummel, which is a very good attack reaction. Which just, if it hits, the person who gets hit has to discard a card, and it's a +4, so that's more than any normal card would block for. You have to have a specific card to block for that. So it's pretty good. So I ended up winning that one. I don't have any notes on that. My round 2, I had played against Zen, and that is not a matchup I don't think I would normally win. But they I won't say whiffed, but they just misplayed on Transcending. They have to play a blue card, and then they have specific blue cards that they can play that will do something, and then they turn into a mana card and then bounce back to their hand, and then they can use it for their hero ability. And his is really good because he can search for any combo card in the game. Well, any combo card. No, I think it's about any card with combo, and you can play it. And then I think you make a tiger as well, or something like that. His is really good. Normally I would say that's his deck is really good in the big format as well. He just really needs to see one of those cards and a blue card, or you can see 2 of those cards, and they would both bounce back to their hand. So it's a pretty cool, I would say cool deck, but it's very strong. I wouldn't say I would normally win that game, but I ended up taking that one. I actually don't even know if I was saying what I was playing. I'm playing Arachne, Solitary Confinement. So I'm playing 24, 28 cards with stealth on them, and then my hero ability says the first attack that you play with stealth gains go again, which means I just get to attack again. And then I have other cards in my deck that are target a card with stealth, it gains +3. So you don't know if I'm going to use my cards to go again or buff this attack. It's very cool. And there's also stealth cards that are so powerful that you have to block them, or they're gonna take a card out of your hand. So you gotta watch out. I had to play. So moving back to my round 3, I had to play against Dory, and I lost. I lost that game because they are doing a very similar thing to what I was doing, except they are swinging with their weapon. So they swing with their weapon, and then they're either going to try to give it go again, or they're trying to buff their sword. It was a very tough game to block, just because it's I don't know what I'm doing, and then I don't want them to hit me because then they're going to get a counter on their sword, and then it's going to be even harder the next time they swing their sword, which could be on the same turn. So it's a tough matchup. I wouldn't say like it, you just need to block well. Then on my round 4, I played a Dromai. Dromai is a very aggro deck. I wouldn't say, actually no, I would say aggro deck. So you're playing all red cards, and with your red cards, when you pitch them, you get to make an Ash, and then you use these Ash to summon dragons. And to get rid of the dragons, you have to attack the dragons. And then when you attack the dragons, your turn basically ends. You have to like have another action point. So like using Go again doesn't work on this. So yeah, it's cool, great, love it. I lose that one. Now moving to this here Monday. This was a skirmish, so it's a little bit, I would say, a step up from regular locals, but it's still Blitz. So I have a couple notes on this week. My first matchup, I played Terra, which is a Guardian, fairly new to the game. The hero and the player. The player came to play a CC. He came to play Jarl, which is another deck that had just come out. But then found out that it was Blitz, so then I'm assuming he bought this Terra deck and was like, all right, we're going to play this. He, one turn, had 3 Might tokens, so that like gives +1 to one of your attacks, into a Thrive that says when your attack would get a +1, it gets an additional +1. And that would trigger each time it gets +1. And then he has gloves that do the same thing where it says give +1, but then this card says it gets another +1. And then he attacked with a 4 attack card. So he has 8 damage plus this 4 attack card coming at me. So I think it's like 12 damage. And it has overpower, which means I can only block with 1 action card. My deck has a lot of reaction cards and other cards that I can block with, so I won't say a 50-50. It's a very like situationally like, is this good? It can be very good, but most of the time I'm gonna have something else I can block with. But it's very good in the late game because most likely I'm going to be pitching, like the cards I'm going to be having in my deck are going to be blue cards because like those are going to be cards that are be worth more mana wise. So naturally I'm going to use those cards and put them on the bottom of my deck. So those are going to be late game cards. But obviously then you're going to be able to like, all right, cool. You have a bunch of these blue attacks. Now I'm going to send this overpower card. It's going to be a lot of damage. You can only block with one card. Very good. But I ended up winning that Terra match. My next match, I played a Cilio. Cilio is a lightning wizard. It says once per turn that you can discard an instant and draw a card. So you're playing a bunch of instants, and you're trying to do arcane damage. And I only have Arcane Barrier 1, which means I can only prevent 1 arcane at a time. So if he sends 5, I can prevent 1 of it, so I'm taking 4 damage no matter what. Unless I have some other way to prevent the damage. It was a very back and forth game, but the problem with that is when it's like 3 life to 2 life, there's a card in the game right now called Striders. I don't remember actually. I don't remember that full name of it right now, but it's they can basically play a wizard card at instant speed, so that you can send arcane damage on your opponent's turn. And he did that, and I could only prevent 1 of it. I was at 3 life, I think, and he's like, all right, I'm going to send 5. And I was like, all right, cool, I can prevent 1 of it, and then I have Spell Void as well, which means it's basically arcane barrier, but I don't have to pay for it. But then I like lose the whole piece of equipment, and they're both the effects are on the same card. So like I lose it for the whole game. It doesn't matter though, because he's sending 5, I can prevent 2 of it, so I'm taking 3 no matter what. I'm at 3 life, I die. my round 3, I play against Victor. This is the other Victor. It's not. Yes, it was. I would say it was a close match. They won all of their clashes except one, and then they finished me with a pummel on a Golden Sun that I gave him. So, Golden Sun is their specialization that says that they may destroy a gold that they have. Of course, they're making gold. And if you do, this gains +3 and overpower. Remember, I say I can only block with action cards. Very good. So it goes to 10. And then Pummel, another card I explained earlier, that gets +4 and then makes me discard a card. So it's attacking me for 14, and I can only block with one action card. And I have 4 action cards in my hand. Bad. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, so Codex is the card I gave Golden Sun to him with. I get Leave No Witness. Leave No Witness, I attack for 4, which is more than what a normal card would attack for. And he when Leave No Witness hits, they have to banish the top card of their deck and their arsenal. So then, I gave them a card, but then I'm also trying to take it away. But he clean blocks it with one card. It's a sync. It's one of those cards he can just play it as a defense reaction, and blocks for 4. I have nothing to buff my attack or anything. I don't have my flick knives to make the attack defensive reactions block for 1 less. I just lose. I lose on that attack, and then I gave him a Golden Sun to hit me back with, and it was rough.
So I have a quick question. When you're talking about gold, is it kind of like Magic, where they make food and
Yes.
treasures, and like, can you use that gold for something else?
Yeah. So like his ability is like the first time you would create a gold, draw a card. So they're just trying to make gold anyway because they're going to be drawing cards. And then his ability is like, you destroy the gold and then you get to clash again. And then there are other cards like his Golden Sun card that say that you may destroy a gold and then it gains +3 and overpower. He also has, I'm not seeing it in this list, a card called Visit Goldmane Estate. There we go. Visit Goldmane Estate. That's like if you have 3 gold, Victor specializes. So like it's a special card for him. It says create a gold. Then if you control 3 or more gold, create that many might tokens. And those might tokens are what are like they pop on the beginning of your turn, so they'll most likely sit for a whole turn, and then the beginning of the next turn they pop, and they say that the next attack that you play gets +1. So if you just stockpile of pile of gold, say like 5 of them, then you play this Visit Goldmane Estate, it'll make 1, so you'll go to 6, and then you're gonna make 6 might tokens. And that's saying that you don't have his shield, because his shield also counts as a gold. So there are many
get a
uses.
lot of gold.
There are many uses for gold. I see most people sit between like 2 and 3, because I think most people want to be able to activate Goldmane Estate and get the effect. And I think getting +3 is really good, because that like constitutes having to have a whole new card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm not very well diverse with Flesh and Blood, but I am trying to take mental notes and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean it's a very complicated game. I'd say most cards block for 3. So if you're buffing attack more than 3, that's really good because like you're like making them use another card. It's not just like I can block with 1 card and be good.
So, excuse me, with combat, does Flesh and Blood have something similar to like trample or piercing damage with your blockers?
In context to like the dragons, no.
Okay.
Otherwise, all of the attacks are gonna be at the hero.
Okay.
I don't think there's really anything like you could, I guess, send like, or I guess I don't really know. I don't think there's really anything out. Like, I think you have to like attack the dragons and deal enough damage to like kill them, and like they're like you have to like have another action point to like be able to do something else. I know Brute is very good into that deck because they get a lot of action points. They can like randomly get like 3 action points sometimes, and that's like really good into that deck because you're like, I can kill a dragon, I can now punch you in the face because there are no more dragons. But that finishing off for Flesh and Blood, I had a match against Azalea. I won that match, so that during the Thanksgiving week I went 2-2, and then during skirmish I also went 2-2. And I had to block some arrows with on hits, but I sent some on hits back myself. Azalea's on hits are very good. Some of them are like discard cards. Some of them are saying your cards no longer have go. If they have go again, they no longer have go again, or you can't gain go again throughout the turn. You can, like I said, only play 1 action card. You can put -1 on pieces of armor. Like, you do not want to get hit with Azalea's on hits, and then her whole gimmick is she's going to like buff the arrow by like, because like an assassin or like Dorinthia is gonna like buff her sword after she attacks. Azalea does it before. She just tells you, hey, +3, and then if it hits you, you get this. +3, if it hits you, you get this. All right, this arrow is originally for 7, but now it's for 13. And then I used this ability, so it's gonna have dominate, so you can only block with 1 card from hand. So it's
also dominate is similar to like a menace and whatnot. No, it's the like exact opposite of menace. My bad.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to give it magic context because like you don't really have blockers. You just have to have cards in your hand, and because like that's how you block, or that's how you like defend in the game.
Okay.
But that's like also gonna like take away what you can do on your turn because you draw cards in the end of your turn instead of the beginning of the turn. But so her turn, she's gonna try to like hold all of her cards and then do that where it's like, all right, 3, I'm gonna try to like get some mana some way, and then I'm gonna send an arrow at you for a lot of damage. I actually was like fairly close to fatigue in that game, which means they run out of cards. You don't lose the game when you run out of cards in Flesh and Blood, but they leave you to your opponent punching you in the face over and over again until the game is over. Because, like, I guess you could have things to do, specifically maybe like attack with dragons. But yeah, if you like, that's, I won't say like that's Assassin's game plan, but that is something an assassin can do, is like fatigue their opponents by like banishing the top cards of their deck. Because I have some cards that are like banish the top card of your deck or banish the top 2 cards of your deck. So I mean, it can happen, but it's not something I'm really trying to do.
Gotcha.
But and then like if you're drawing cards too, like that, that adds up over the course of a game when I'm not like I mean, I also have cards that draw cards, but like I didn't hit on any of them specifically in that, maybe not that game, but the Acilio game. I have a card that's like, if it hits, bans the top card of your deck. If it's a red card, draw a card and gain 1 life. And I hit a blue card. Then that one had go again because it was the first stealth card I played. Then I attacked with the blue version of that, where it's like, if it hits, it banish the top card of the deck, and if it's a blue card, draw a card and gain life. And then I hit a red card. And I'm like, well, fuck. And there was nothing I could have done about. It was like I had a 50-50 shot and I chose wrong.
Both both ways.
Yeah, it was one of those. Was like, hey, well, I mean, I made a choice and I chose wrong. But yeah, back to the Azalea game. I had him really close to fatigue, but I did not finish him with fatigue. I ended up finishing him with 2 blood rots, off of a double red infect turn. So I have, red infect is on hit, create the blood rot, and red means it's for 3 damage. So I red 3 damage, go again. He didn't block because he's trying to hold cards. I go, okay, cool. Red infect, 3 damage, give him another infect. And these infect tokens say that you have to pay 2 damage, or pay 2 mana, or you take 2 damage. And these pop at the end of your turn. So if you kill your opponent before they pop, you don't have to take the damage. So he tried to do that, and I just blocked the arrow. So he ended up taking I think he was at 3 life, and I had 2 of these blood rots on him. He ended up taking the 4 damage and losing the game. But, you know, it's one of those things. You make choices in Flesh and Blood, and some, like, because I also had him really close to fatigue, he was kind of running out of options. So that's the game. And that was also my whole last 2 weeks for both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Flesh and Blood. We didn't end up, I say we, but I didn't end up doing Pokemon because I don't think we actually had an event because our great and wonderful judge had prior engagements, so we didn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if a locals event did pop off or not, but I let you know, our store events operator know ahead of time that I was going to be out that weekend, so unfortunate.
Yeah, well,
sucks because I'm almost done with my Pokemon deck after 3 months now.
I still have to order cards. I'm not gonna lie, but I plan on borrowing something. But
yeah,
after all that, are you ready for some chess?
Yeah. Let me open up the app and send me an invite, my friend.
All right, we're just gonna do a normal 5-minute game this time.
Alrighty. What did we do last time? 5-2?
I think it was 3-2, but I think I've been
Okay.
disconnected. I have to restart. I think I have to refresh. Jeremy. I think actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the past few times that we've played chess, you've been the black pieces, and now it's letting me be the black pieces.
Yeah, this is weird. I don't like it. Oh dear. Hopefully not. Mean. Better leave that pawn alone. He ain't do nothing wrong. He's just out here vibing, living his best life.
No, that's wrong. Wrong move. Womp womp.
Yep.
That's fine. We'll live.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I could have taken...
Yep.
That's fine.
I just immediately was like, oh, I guess I'll just let my guy die then. Have you seen those checkmates that the people do where they walk the opponent's king to the other side of the board and then set up basically their entire back rank?
No.
It's like I could just checkmate. I'm gonna drag it out a little bit. Oh, well.
GG's.
I completely forgot my queen attacks diagonally. But no, it's a really cool checkmate where honestly, you have to play someone who is, one, willing to play through that long of a game with only having a king on their side, and two, they have to be kind of bad enough to fall into this checkmate. It works by putting essentially your entire back rank goes back, and you have to make sure you either promote all your pawns or lose all your pawns and keep all your back rank pieces. And you walk the king to your side of the board, and then you checkmate it onto, I believe, the C2 square with all your back rank in its original placement.
Okay.
And it's so convoluted, but it's so funny to watch.
It's one of those, it's like, if you have time and you have, like, if they're not going to quit, you just sit there and do that.
Yeah, it's such a funny thing to watch, but good game, my friend.
Yeah, GG's, you know. We'll get them next week.
We both, like, blundered our queen, essentially. Fortunately, one of us missed it.
Yeah, I just completely whiffed it. But after that, we're going to move on to new stuff. Specifically, like, new products, I guess. Bader, you mentioned that you had some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that you have looked up.
Yes. A set that just recently dropped for Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover Breakers. Supposed to be meta shifting, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's going to have as big of an impact as other people say it might. But it's going to be a really cool decks that are going to come out of it at the bare minimum. Honestly, I think you might like one of them.
Oh.
I don't really see you as like a, like, the artwork of the cards kind of have the labyrinth feel of them, like the Lady Labyrinth cards. So they're like more feminine artwork characters, like female characters, but it's a lot of banishing, and you get like what is it? You just gain a lot of advantage off of banishing your own cards.
Yeah.
And there's trap cards that you can, like, activate, banish your creature as cost to get an effect, and you can activate it on your first turn if you have one of their monsters on the field. It's the Malice deck, and it seems pretty cool. It can play Shifter, obviously, because it likes being banished, and all their monsters are dark, so you can play something old like Allure of Darkness, which is really cool. But yeah, I've been looking at that, and that looks like a pretty cool deck. Probably not my play style. Oh, and then when the monsters are banished, they can special summon themselves back to the field once per turn. Okay.
Oh yeah, they all have. They're all giant Rex. That's sick.
Yeah, You do have to pay 600 life, but a small price to pay to
sure.
link climb into whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Another deck that comes out is Ryziel, which is expected to be like the best deck to come through the set. It's like a rank 4 turbo deck where it's got like a it's not even once per turn or chain. If your opponent activates a card, you can like respond immediately with one of your XYZ monsters detaching a material to destroy a card on the field.
Okay.
And you can do that you can do that as many times per turn as like materials on the card, I believe. I don't think it's once per chain.
That's busted.
But yeah, and it can also play Shifter pretty comfortably. Not as comfortably as Malice, but pretty comfortably. It hurts other decks more than it hurts itself. And then the final deck I know nothing about. I genuinely could not tell you a single thing about it. So when I have to pair up against that at locals in 2 weeks and ask my opponent what their cards do, they're going to look at me like, the little, you fell into my trump card, read my 30 paragraph card. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So it's going to lose to Imperm.
Yep.
And that's probably how it's going to be. Deck packs usually have only one good deck, but this one's supposed to have two, and it's really cool. They're pretty cool looking decks. Meta shifting a little bit, but not meta breaking, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I have heard a little bit of buzz about the Malice cards. I was like doing a little bit of complaining about just generically about, Lancia, because, who likes that card? And there was like, oh, some new people might be playing it now with this Malice deck. I'm like, oh, okay. But I guess if you're saying maybe, if it's all like that, then maybe Lancia would be coming up, because that card is real good.
Yeah, Lancia, it shuts down the deck on their turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it doesn't work on your turn, which kind of blows, but
yeah,
if I lose one too many games against the Malice, I'm throwing Imperial Iron Wall to my side deck.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's just
like a true stun player.
No evenly matched for me.
All right. So we got a nice deck building set coming out, and it's supposed to have. I know the buzz around Ryziel is that is the next tier 0 deck.
I don't think that's going to come to fruition, to be honest. But it'll be good for sure. It'll definitely be a top tier deck. But all right. If I'm wrong, I'll I don't know, take the L, I guess.
All right, stamp it here. All right, approved. If Ryziel is tier 0, Bader was wrong.
Yep.
All right.
First time for everything. First time for everything.
All right. Well, so is there anything else for Flesh and, or I say, is there anything for Yu-Gi-Oh coming out that you want to talk about?
No, but you did tell me about something pretty cool for Flesh and Blood that I'd like to hear a little bit about.
Yeah, so Flesh and Blood's got packs coming out now for that we're going to replace their armory kits. So armory kits they like have stuff with, and then like you get like promos every week to like hand out, and like these are going to replace that. And these are like Yu-Gi-Oh OTS cards. So there are 3 cards per pack. It's 1 regular print card, 1 premium foil card, which means it could be a rainbow foil, a cold foil, or a Marvel, and then 1 art card. And then just that they're gonna get it's a 32 card set. So 3 cards, 32 card set. Obviously, you're gonna have random Marvel, cold foil, rainbow foil stuff. But yeah, currently. The OTS cards are not very good, but, normally OTS cards are price-wise very nice. The ultis do look good, and I think, as it says currently, I think I like Flesh and Blood stuff way more than I like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. The ultis do look nice. I'm just not a big fan of the QCRs, and they are pushing QCRs.
Trust me, I know.
Oh my gosh, I feel like everybody loves them, so I'm just like I'm just not about it.
No, I agree. I'm an ulti person all the way, but if I like a card enough, I will get the QCR.
But yeah, so it's looking like this is going to be coming out in February, so it's still got a little bit away. And they're going to be setting this up like season wise, so I'm assuming just like throughout the season, they'll have like cards related to the set that is out. Because they're talking about in here, the hunted season runs from February to May, contains cards related to. Oh, they specifically say that in this bullet point. If I actually read the page here, but I did not do that. So the first, yeah, okay. I've said all the bullet points. We got packs coming out in February. They're going to be related to the set. The set is hunted. It's an assassin set. Play it. All right. I think that's all I have to say about that. Moving on to. Oh yeah, go for it.
I do have a question. With that, it's 32 cards for like essentially an OTS or like a tournament pack set. I feel like is a lot. And you said there's rainbow rares in it.
Yeah. So rainbow rare is like your normal. I would say your normal foil. Then you have cold foil, which is kind of like your ulti printing. And then you have Marvel, which is like extended full art card.
So is rainbow rare like not rainbow pattern, kind of like the Pokemon TCG?
No, I would say it's just your normal foil card.
Okay. I was about to say, that seems pretty cool. Just have like an assassin in the rainbow. It seems fun.
Yeah, it's definitely not like Pokemon. Pokemon's rainbow foils were crazy.
Yeah. Okay. I was just stuck on that. I'm just thinking of like one of the characters from Assassin's Creed just in a rainbow.
Yeah, no, not like that. Not like Zen riding a tiger over a rainbow, throwing his spear or something. All right. Unfortunately, I'm lazy and I didn't get the printer printing, but I'm just going to pick one from the list I already have. I'm just going to pick a topic out of the fishbowl. It's a fishbowl, but I don't have topics from yet. And we're not going to sit here and do that. Next week, I'll have it ready to go. So this week, the topic is, let's go heavy dice. Why would you have heavy dice? Like name actually, why are heavy dice bad? And why would you why would you choose to have heavy dice?
I would never have heavy dice, and it's the same concept with like sharp cornered dice. Never. Heavy dice they have such a good chance of denting or just pressing onto your cards a little too hard, and I'm not about that life. Like, my entire deck's not super expensive, but I've got a couple cards into there that are even over like $20 that I'm not willing to risk dropping a heavy die on. Like, if there's a random effect or whatever where you have to like roll a die to discard a card for like dangers or whatever, I don't want to roll a die over my card, especially not over my opponent's cards, because you never know how, like on a regional level, someone's gonna react. Heavy dice are a hell no for me.
Yeah, it's like I see them and I like them, but I just don't know why you would want to A, carry that around, B, roll them, and then yeah, cool, you can show them off, but like, is it worth it? Like, is it? I just don't see it. But that was a nice and easy topic for this week, as just don't use heavy dice. So I think we are going to move to wrap things up this week, because we are almost pushing an hour now. So for myself, I'm going to say, goodbye. Bader, do you have any parting words?
You got to say it last week, so I'm going to try it this week. Don't forget to support your locals, everybody.
Yeah.
They're key.
Yep, support your locals, and yeah, don't use heavy dice and don't get slow played. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.